What's up, girls? Welcome to Jeremiah's podcast. Today's guest is me.
Okay. No, I'm just kidding. So today we're going to have Jacob on. He's my little brother. He's a Marine. He's a combat engineer. I think we talked about that a little bit, but we kind of just talked about stuff in general. It's been a while since I've done a podcast, so a little rusty here, but I think you'll enjoy it. We're trying something a little different, or we act like I got a team. I'm trying something a little different on this one. I'm putting different video clips throughout it, so you already saw a little bit of it. We're about to jump into the podcast. Me and him take a break, and I'm going to put in some footage of us shooting stuff and his wife shooting a shotgun. And then at the end, there's going to be some four-wheeler stuff and then a bunch of bloopers for this intro right here. I'm not even wearing the same shirt. This is a totally different day because I finished the video. I didn't like the way it came out. So we're doing it one more time. And this time I don't care. It is done. This is getting uploaded. It's on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcast, whatever. It goes to pretty much anywhere that you would listen to a podcast at. Even something called Pocket Casters. Don't know if you ever heard of that. I didn't until I started up a podcast. Anyways, I hope you enjoy it. And if you do, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, and then I think I'm supposed to tell you to click the little bell thing, and then I don't care. Just like and subscribe. And click the bell thing. So, the last time we met up, you weren't married yet, I don't think. Were you, or did you just... Oh, yeah, it was your marriage. It was the day you got married. Yeah. But the last time you were on the podcast, you weren't married. So... And then you went to Norway and Sweden?
Yes, very cold.
Yeah, so talk about that. How was that?
Well, we went to Norway under the impression we were going to be training with the Norwegians, and we never really trained with them directly. We trained with our people, but then they were doing operations with us. But then we went through cold weather training. That was pretty terrible, especially since it was so cold most of the mornings.
I remember you showed me a video. Maybe I can even put it on the podcast where you were doing it was on a frozen lake. There was a hole in it, and then you had to run into it.
Yes.
And you also have Raynaud's? Raynaud's. Which is what?
Raynaud's is basically where you get any type of cold. Your body pulls all your blood to the center of your body. So to keep that warm, because it thinks it's gonna die or something. So it takes all the blood from your fingers and your toes and stuff, and it makes it very hard to walk or use your hands. And your fingers will turn white or purple depending on how bad it is and how cold it is. It's also very hard to get warm. So at the polar plunge, which is the thing where we jump in the water, they had us just running in circles for an hour before, just trying to warm ourselves up so we could jump in the water and then pull ourselves out. But it took me so long to do it because I went down there the first time and they put the rope around you so just in case there's a current, you don't go underneath the ice. And they were like, "No, you're too cold. Go back out." And I'm like, "Come on, let me just jump since I'm already here." You know how you get yourself hyped up for something, and then they're like, "Never mind, come back in 20 minutes." And you're like,
"Yeah."
It messes with your mind. Anyway, so I ended up doing it, and then we had to put on our happy suit. It's this really thick jacket, pants, and then it has little booties, so little slippers, and you just run up and down the hills until you're warm, until you get sweaty.
Yeah. So what's the point of that? Just in case you ever fall in a lake or something?
Yeah. Apparently in Norway though, it's standard for I think it's from the time they turn 5, they have to do it every year. It's a yearly qualification. Much we have to get I don't know if it's this serious, but I know it's in schools they teach it. So like every day, so one day every year they take all the kids and they make them jump in the water. Because I guess it's so common in Norway.
Yeah.
Because we were all the way at the top. We were at the top of Norway.
So is Norway south of Sweden?
Norway is north of Sweden. It wraps Sweden's like right here, wraps around, and then at the tip of Norway there's Russia.
Did you know where it was on the map before you went there?
No.
That was me with Latvia. I didn't know where it was either.
Yeah, I knew it was somewhere over there, but yeah, no, I didn't really know. Then we did that pretty shortly after we got there, and then we did cold weather training, which is you basically learn how to survive out there. Use all the gear that we got. We had to carry around these polkas, which is they call them polkas, but they're like sleds. And we zip it up. We put all of our like our tents, our shovels.
I didn't want it to block the mic.
Yeah.
So
our tents, our shovels, little stoves with extra gas. Yeah, then we had to learn how to survive out there. Then one night we had a improvised shelter. So it's basically like we would back home, but we were in the woods, in the snow that was like up to our waist. And we had to make like little tents out of snow with tarp. So like little igloos.
yeah. So you lived in igloos. How big were your igloos?
It's not really like necessarily igloos. We didn't build the roof part. We made the tarp out of the roof, but the walls were snow.
Oh, okay.
Because like we've tried it before. Like you can make snow caves, but it's kind of dangerous because it'll collapse on you. But we made it was like you just like get your shovel, go in a square, pick it up, and then set it. So it's like Legos basically with ice.
So you make like compacted snow basically?
Yeah.
And you do it?
So you scrape off like the first 6 inches of snow,
Yeah.
and then underneath it, it's like frozen. So it's like you could still push through it with a shovel, but it's like ice.
So it's
It doesn't fall apart, and it's like keeps all the wind out of it.
effective cover against small arms fire.
Kind of during our
I bet when it's like ice, it probably works a little bit.
Remember during our 10-day fill up, it was like day 10, and we had a machine gun post, and our XO was like, you got to build these walls 6 feet deep all the way around the machine gun nest. They're like, because that's what it takes to stop a 5.56 with snow. And I'm like, sir, I'm not doing that. Because that would have taken way too long. But
Yeah, I don't know. The coldest I've ever been in, I think, was probably Germany. But I don't remember how cold it got. I think the coldest it was ever was -17. I mean, I'm sure it's gotten colder in Germany, but when I was there, -17. And we just would walk up, like when we had to do the hikes or whatever to walk up the icy roads, or everyone would just slip and fall on their butt.
did you have snowshoes on?
We had like winter boots, but no, not snowshoes.
We had to wear like these big.
And we didn't wear the winter boots on the ruck. It was summer boots because like
It's hot.
Yeah, the winter boots would mess your feet up. They weren't meant to like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to wear these snowshoes. They're like this big without the fins, and then like this big with the fins. And you just put your feet in, and it has like little cleats on the front of it. It's just so you didn't sink in the bottom of the snow because it like spread your weight out, I guess.
Yeah, so like normally your foot would have went way deeper, but with those it.
Yeah, because the surface area is wider.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
What was the craziest like survival trick you learned in Norway/Sweden?
I honestly think the improvised shelter night was really cool because we made a fire out of like wet wood, and we had we built like a house out of the snow. So we built the snow walls only on 3 sides. Then we built a tarp, and then we built a fire that was like basically underneath the tarp, but it didn't catch on fire because it just trapped the heat.
Yeah.
And then we laid down like a bunch of alive stuff that slept on that. I don't know. There was just a lot of different stuff like that. Starting fires, splitting open the. Oh, I did learn something. If you go up to a birch tree and you get a knife, I can show you. If you get a knife, you can cut it in like a square on the birch, like only like that much, and you can peel it off. As soon as it dries, it lights and stays lit for like 10 minutes. A square like this big will light and stay lit for 10 minutes.
That's pretty cool. It's like those little pucks or whatever.
It's basically those little pucks, but you could just make it. We're in the field off where they're like only do it on birch trees. Well, apparently, you know how they give you like grids, you got to hike up to the grid. Well, they hiked an entire battalion out there. We slept out there for like 3 days, and then the Norwegian wildlife people, they like lost their minds because apparently we cut down a bunch of endangered trees, and we're like, like the birch trees, if you skin them all the way around,
then
it kills it because it has no bark left on that spot. People were skinning entire trees.
These were like special trees that they had preserved.
Yeah, it was like a forest that we weren't supposed to be in. We were supposed to be like a click or so away, and they're like, we got kicked out of that training area. We had to hike all the way back that day.
Oh my gosh!
But they were very mad, and the RCO was like, "Oh, I guess we're not sorry. You want us to put it back?"
Yeah.
They're very big on like not cutting down any alive trees. Like here we can cut down alive trees, but you can't cut down, even if it's like a baby tree, you can't cut it down or like run it over or anything.
Well, yeah, they're just trying to protect the environment, Jacob. What's wrong with that?
Unlike here, we destroy the environment.
Oh yeah, did you notice all the different trash cans they have everywhere? Like,
it's so weird.
Yeah.
I get so confused. I can't even read it. It's in Sweden, so I just throw my trash and walk away.
yeah, there's like the dry trash or whatever, which is like basically what we use for everything. But like, even when I went to check, he's been on the podcast before. He when I went to his house, his family had under their sink like a food trash can, like literally for organic bio stuff. You just put it in there, like meat, whatever. And then they had a plastic one, a metal one, and then just a normal trash can after that. And meanwhile, I got one trash can in there, and everything goes in.
Yes.
Which I thought they were supposed to be efficient. Just kidding.
Did they have in Italy where if you like take the cans back to the grocery store, they'll give you so much money or something like this?
I'm sure they did, but I never did it.
I wanted to see how much money I could make one day. So they had I don't know how to explain it. It's like this place where people would go. They called it the canteen. It's like this place where people would go if they're bored and play like pool, and it had like a little
snacks
restaurant
and stuff.
Okay, yeah. So they went in there and they had all the separate trash, and I was like, dang, that can bin is full. So I just took all the cans. I went to the grocery store and I made $20 from just those cans. But it's like a little conveyor belt, and it just brings it back and it counts all the money, and it gives me.
So is this like a money hack for anyone that's like really young and just trying to like get rich? Just go.
Well, they don't have them here. They have only.
Well, exactly. So they need to figure out how to get a flight over to Sweden, and then just start selling cans.
But people would drink like all the time there, so I'd just go into their rooms, take their cans, and just go sell them.
I mean, if you think about it, like if you made it your job every day to just go around and find cans, you could make a living probably recycling cans off of military bases in Sweden.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
because they don't. I don't know, but yeah, I made like $20 doing that one day because I wanted to have the little Norwegian money, but then I lost it.
That sucks.
Their
Souvenirs are great.
I know. Their Norwegian money is weird. It has like fish on it.
So they don't use. So are they part of the European Union or
NATO?
Yeah, sorry, NATO. Are they part of NATO? Yeah.
Sweden is not.
Okay.
Well, apparently Sweden and Finland were supposed to join together. Finland got accepted, Sweden didn't, so Finland says, "Screw you," and joined. So it's like Russia, Finland, Sweden, Norway. So Sweden's trying to join. That way it'll be 3 NATO countries back to back. Because right now, Russia can use Sweden as a landing ground, I guess.
Yeah, the only thing I know about Finland is that because I'm a big sauna junkie, so that's where they get most of their, or I don't know if it's most, but that's where they get a lot of their data is from the Finnish people. Because like a hot tub is to America what a sauna is to Finland.
Saunas are very nice. They were great, and they didn't have one in Norway. on the military base we were at.
I'm
But in
surprised.
Sweden, they did.
I'm surprised not just because it's a military base, but also because of where it's at in the world.
Yes.
You think that they would have had like 30 saunas over there?
It was dark, like
Didn't you tell me you went into a sauna though?
in Sweden.
Oh, in Sweden,
Yes,
but not in Norway.
not
okay.
Norway. It was dark. Like whenever we first got there, it was only like 2 hours of daylight, and then whenever we left, it was like at 3 a.m. It was light. It was so weird.
Yeah, I didn't even think of this, but I bet it was awesome getting into a sauna when you're in the sub-freezing temperatures.
In Sweden, it was pretty good. Yeah, in Sweden, it was warmer. It was like 60 there, but it's because it was May, so it was a lot warmer than January.
Yeah, honestly, it may have gotten colder in Latvia than it did Germany. In fact, I think it was, but we weren't doing long hikes through the mountains for 10 days. You know, we were just there for the Ukraine stuff, but the I forgot how cold it was, but it was really freezing.
Did you ever sleep in tents?
Out there, I'm trying to think. It was starting to get near the summertime by the time we were out there training. Because at first we didn't really know what we were doing exactly. And then once they kind of figured all the logistical side of everything out, how dare you? The logistical side of everything out, that's when we started training. And by then it started to warm up. It was still cold, but it wasn't like winter. Yeah. It was just like, it's pretty chilly out here. But
yeah, the coldest temperature we had was -25.
Yeah.
That was terrible. Especially waking up in the field and you're like you wake up and you're freezing cold, you're already shivering and not like there's any warmth in there, and you have to start like a little stove and hope it warms up. But -25 and like really windy
Does Tennessee cold bother you at all?
No.
Like if you had to go live out in the woods for a couple weeks in Tennessee cold, do you think it'd be a problem? Or you think you got it?
I can do it.
Now, did they teach you all that like cold weather stuff in the cold, or did they or did they teach you beforehand before you guys left?
They taught us before, but they didn't really like teach us before. They were like, hey, do this, like layering with like the fishnets.
Yeah.
You guys ever have those?
Fishnets? What is
like
that?
the thing strippers wear?
Oh, like literally fishnets?
Fishnets.
Oh.
The Norwegians wear them.
No.
It was like a prized item over there. I should have brought it. I wasn't.
They wore fishnets?
So you wear fishnets underneath your clothes because it's like, you know how it's like it looks like this? There's in between each one of those, warm air gets, and it keeps you so much warmer than wearing like 2 long sleeves. If you wear a fishnet and a jacket, you'll be fine.
Yes.
It's crazy to me because like you can go outside with the fishnets and you'll be freezing, but if you put a jacket on, it's super warm.
Yeah, but it's a lot tight. When you say fishnets, it's not like big holes in it. It's like really tight and interwoven, right? Like pantyhose kind of?
No, it literally looks like that.
How can
It's bigger holes
fishnets
than
keep
that.
you warm though?
I don't understand either, but like we had like thin stuff like this that we would wear underneath it, so to keep the warmth in is like a water wicking, so like sweat would just soak it out but not anything else. But then I was able to trade with one of the Norwegians for a fishnets, and it keeps you so warm, like almost too warm. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like big stuff, big holes like that. Yeah.
It's interesting. I know in Morocco to get a water bottle cold. So if you ever find yourself in the desert and you're like, man, I got this water bottle and I just wish I could make it cold. Well, what you do is you take your sock off and you put it over the bottle and you set it on the ground, and the sock protects it from the sunlight hitting it, but it has enough holes in it to let the wind pass through. And so the wind actually cools it down. Now it won't make it like ice cold, but it'll make it
Chilly.
like room temperature kind of. Yeah. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it's really bad if you're in the desert and you don't have access to cold water. And it's all hot water.
I wish we went to I wish we could go to Africa or something. I think we're supposed to go to Alaska next year.
Yeah. I don't know which one's worse, Alaska or Norway / Sweden.
I don't know. I don't want to go to either one. I wish I went to Georgia though.
Yeah, because you were supposed to go to Georgia and then
Country.
Yeah, not only did you get randomly pulled off of that and put on, what is it? Hurricane
relief or something.
Hurricane relief. And if that wasn't bad enough, what that actually means is they have to spray you
with the OC spray.
With OC spray.
You know how OC spray works? They were telling us, they're like, you get sprayed right here, so it drips into your eyes, and it's like a constant drip. And then they said it like crystallizes in your eyeballs. It like goes away, crystallizes, and they said it does that for hours. The only way to get rid of it like completely is salt water. You go stick your head in the ocean. You should be. It'll still burn, but it'll feel better.
Oh my gosh!
And they said it lasts for hours. Like those clothes, you have to like wash them immediately.
They also play it up though, because they want to scare you.
Yeah, but this was our guide. It wasn't even like our corporal was trying to scare
us. He was just okay.
He was just chilling. He was tips on how to get it out. He's like, also wear underwear when like you're gonna burn your junk off. Not even joking. He's like, you'll wash your head, and he's like, you want to do it like this, wash your head. He's like, because you'll still burn.
See, I get the gas chamber because like the gas chamber, it's like, okay, there's a real possibility you might be exposed to some kind of gas or whatever, and you need to experience a little bit of what it feels like, and then successfully put your mask on and all that. But like, it's not like when you're going and doing riot control, you're just gonna turn your mace around and shoot yourself in the face with it. Like, like why do you have to get sprayed? But they should just put you in another gas chamber because I think the worst thing that would happen is you like spray other people and then some of the overspray. Yeah.
I've been in the gas chamber 4 times since last
What?
November. Yeah. They put me on it. So before you go on a deployment, you're supposed to have you're supposed to go to the gas chamber 6 months prior. So I was like, I did it before, and they're like, no, it was out of 6 months, and they're like, go again. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then literally, I'm not even joking, the next week I went on it twice because I was like, I just did this. They're like, well, they need more people for the gas chamber because I guess they have a quota to fill or something like that. So they put me on it 2 more times that week. And then right before we left, they're like,
wait, just because they had to check the box, they just like, oh, we'll just send Kidwell a couple more times.
Yeah. Like, and then my old squad leader, the one that's leaving, he was like, oh, screw you. He didn't go on it once, though. He's just signed his name that he did it the past 6 months.
Well, he's already done his time as a Jacob.
Oh.
Yeah, done his time.
So I had to do it 4 times. But I haven't been piss tested since last November.
You're that Marine Corps? That's crazy. I remember like with basic training, I didn't ever do anything or whatever, but they didn't test me. They tested me at MEPS, and then I didn't get tested again until I was at my unit. Yeah, so that whole period in between basic training, airborne school, which it makes sense at airborne school. Like, why are you going to drug test people? They're only here for like 3 weeks and then they're gone. Yeah. But basic training, I guess you don't have access to anything, and that's their reason. Yeah, you don't technically have access. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have access. There's a whole black market, I think, in every single training center in the military. But
we got tested during MCT, even though it's supposed to be like that. That was so gay, though. I hate just having them watch you while you do it.
How intense were they when they were watching you? Like, was it like just in the room? Like they're watching?
They're watching.
They're actually looking at your penis?
Yeah, they're like, even whenever I did it in November, he's literally, there's footsteps on the ground that you have to stand on. And the footsteps, so say the toilet is right here, the footsteps are right here. So you like peeing into the side of the toilet. The dude's right here, literally just staring at you the whole time. He's like, you better not hide it or something like that. And like, once you're done with it, yeah, I know. And he's like, if you drop it, I'll get it out and I'll kill you. I was like, it's worse though whenever you can't piss though, and they're like so mad because now they got to touch your piss cup and then seal it and then pour it into the new one and spill it. But there's like a little counter over here, and once we're done, we have to set it up there, and he has to watch us screw it on, and we have to put the tape on it before he even lets us.
Dude. Yeah. They never really, like, I know that they were technically supposed to, but it was always just like they're kind of in the room, or if anything, they're just staring at your backside. There's no reason to actually stare at someone's penis. Like,
yeah, and then once we get the bottle, we have to hold it like this on our left shoulder.
I guess there's one reason. They do sell rubber penises with fake urine in it that you can like squeeze, so it looks like you're actually peeing out of your penis, and really it's just a rubber penis that is shooting out fake urine that's supposed to pass.
Where do you get that?
Any smoke shop, I think, usually has stuff like that. Like
you just squeeze it. You just look over and you're just like.
Okay. So I know I probably shouldn't admit to this because family is gonna watch it. But back when I was younger and smoked the herb, I had this one little. I never had to use it, but like the job I had at the time, and it wasn't like I would do it on the job. It's just it was in my system. And if you get rear-ended, they're gonna take you over here and get you tested or whatever. And it was this powder. And you could just basically just pour a little bit of water in with it. And I think it even came with the right amount of water. And you just had to mix it with the powder. And it had like I forget, it was like 5 out of 5 stars. Everyone said it worked. And then it would automatically create the chemical that would simulate your pee. And then it would also get it to the correct body temperature that it would be when it came out of your penis. And then you just pour it in the cup and then go hand it to them and like
they look over there and you're just shaking the little bottle, get it all. They're like, "You good over there?" You just
I've heard stories like of dudes in the military because it used to be kind of like a good old boys club, like I remember hearing a story from this guy once. He was saying that back when he was a private, he showed up to his platoon, he was infantry, and they basically all just took him out back and just beat the crap out of him. And I mean, literally, like, beat him within an inch of his life. Like, okay, not an inch of his life, but, they beat him up pretty bad. Black eye, busted lip, like all this stuff. And they took a step back and they just wanted to see if he was going to snitch, like, to the first sergeant or whatever. And that was always the test. Like, if you didn't snitch, it was like a game. Like, you were accepted. And then if you weren't, you still were with the platoon, but you were just like that outcast that no one wanted to talk to. And so he said, of course, he didn't snitch. And then one time there was some dude that popped hot. And he said, basically, if you were accepted, like you never snitched, you were like, they would, always have your back. And
even like your squad leaders and stuff?
Oh, yeah, because they were part of it. They were part of the ones that beat you up. Like, and he said that some dude was going to pop hot because he, drunk over the weekend, smoked a blunt, whatever, comes into work and the platoon started, hey, I, smoked weed over the weekend. And, I guess they like scuffed him up pretty bad. Like they smoked them and all that, but they never did any paperwork and they got his name scratched off the list. And, he never got tested,
One of my friends didn't want to go to Norway so bad that he broke his arm, and then he was like, well, that's not enough. So he was smoking weed.
I remember you talking about this guy. I didn't know that he smoked weed.
Yeah. He smoked weed, and then the next day we had a piss test to me. He didn't end up going to Norway. He's getting out, like, I think 2 weeks to get an admin stuff. And then one of my friends, they were roommates. He didn't want to go to Norway, so he ran his arm over with the car and broke it.
Honestly, I say they should just let him out at that point.
Yeah. I was like, how did you, because he came to my room and he was like, do you have any alcohol? I was like, rubbing alcohol? And I was like, he's like, yeah. I was like, why? He's like, follow me. So we go to his room. His friend, literally, his arm was like dipped in like that from the wheel. And you know how whenever you go over a speed bump and you like go a little fast at the end, it like your tire can skip?
Yeah.
It did that with his arm and it was cut all the way around. It like skipped over his arm.
And he wasn't like in front of a medic. He was just in front of a couple of buddies in the barracks.
No, it was literally just them two. They went to the parking garage and did it. And then the dude that smoked weed, he broke his arm because he had his friend hit him with the skateboard. He, like the thin side of the skateboard, he just had to smash it on his arm until he had a dent.
This guy was real. I feel like Norway just would have been easier than all that.
He was also like 5'2", maybe 100 pounds, 115 pounds. So it would have sucked for him, but like,
see,
got over it.
I don't know, because like we have such a huge amount of money as America that we dedicate towards our military, and we have all these slots that need to be filled. But and I think that's why we structured it the way we have, where like you sign a contract, you're locked in until you basically property of the government until your contract is up. I get that, but I mean, like the British military, you can literally pay a fine and you're released. It's like £400 or something like that, 600. I don't know.
How much is that in dollars?
That's I don't know, but it's under $1,000. So, yeah, right. Imagine if you could just pay $1,000 and get out. You know?
Can buy out your military contract. It's $400,000 though.
I think that's I don't think that's true though. Is it? Like, is that the whole like if your bank account exceeds a certain amount, they release you because you're a liability or whatever?
I don't know. I've heard that before though.
I mean, I'm just saying. Tim Kennedy went back into the special forces, and
just now.
It was maybe 5 years ago, I think.
How long was he out?
I don't know, long enough to become like world champion in the UFC.
Yeah.
And do some TV shows and stuff. So I feel like that's a lie. I feel like you probably, but I don't know.
Is he still in?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think he started up a podcast.
Have him on here.
Yeah, dude. Come on in, Tim. Let's go. East Tennessee, man. We got four-wheelers. But yeah, I honestly think it's kind of a good thing to give people the opportunity to.
You get rid of a lot of these people that don't need to be there.
Yeah, it's a tough one because you're going to reduce the size of the military for sure.
Right.
But you're going to, like they say, it's an all-volunteer force. It is initially, but like there's a lot of people that join and then want to get out. But like for example, the British military, and it's not just them, it's a lot of different militaries that, have like buyout options and stuff. But specifically the British also, when they agree to have you on, they'll guarantee you 20-something years of service. And so that's like, it's not saying you have to stay in for 20 years. It's saying, if you want, we're going to make sure you're taken care of for X amount of time. So it's literally everyone's there because they want to be there. They could get out if they want, and I think it raises the quality.
That seems like it would be a lot better than this, though.
Yeah, like dudes smashing their arms with skateboards and getting ran over and smoking weed to try to not go on a training rotation. Like, just let him go because that guy's just wasting money. There's no benefit to having that guy around.
This entire time, though. While I was gone, he was going through the separation process. It would have been like 7 months he's going through the separation problem. And at this point, he's already halfway done with his contract. Yeah,
it takes forever to get separated. And then it's like vacation time for the person getting separated because like they're under, usually like some kind of profile that prohibits anyone from telling them to do anything because they're mentally whatever.
Unstable, yeah.
Yeah. Not to say that, to clarify for people that, are listening and think that we're just being cruel to people with mental illness. In the military, mental illness is real, but it's also used a lot of times to get out of. Yeah, they'll go in and complain. They'll pretend that they're suicidal when they're not, just because they're trying to get out of the military, things like that. So, with people like that, I say just let them out.
Yeah, sure.
I know I wanted out, but I guess as a rebuttal, I probably would regret it if I had gotten out because like after I've done the whole contract, I'm glad I didn't get kicked out or anything,
Yeah, because you make good friends along the way, and you have like it's like a bond with them that only, I don't know, it's hard to explain because like you do all this hard stuff with them, and then you're like, dang, what am I gonna do this hard stuff with whenever I get out?
Yeah, or like what hard stuff are you gonna do when you get out? Like
nothing. Go to work.
Yeah, it sucks, but I mean you can make it better. Like I think just getting good hobbies. Like I'm hoping to get into skydiving at some point. Keep talking about it, but financially it's just, I mean, once you get your license, it's pretty cheap. It's like $30-$40 anytime you want to jump. But before that,
you should go work at a skydiving place so that you could like tandem jump with people, and then
I think it's hard to get on with them, but maybe not.
That'd be cool. You get to do like 4 jumps a day.
Yeah, that's how, because I don't know exactly how it works, but I think like because it's really competitive. Because like it's a lot of like dudes from the special operations world that you can't get that many jumps in the civilian world. You know.
Yeah.
They'll have like some ridiculous amount, and then now they're an instructor. That's not always the case though. Some people just rack them up, but I think you get like around 200 jumps just as a hobby over time. And then once you're at around that mark, you're kind of competitive. And then you're doing all those jumps every day and you're just
a lot of money though. 200 jumps at like $50 a jump, say that's
well, you got yourself into this now.
200 times 50.
AI is going to take over.
$10,000 if it's $50 a jump.
Well, and it's not high paying either. Those guys don't make a lot. It's truly like a job you do for fun and that's you're passionate about. You know, it's not something you do for money.
You said AI is going to take over?
Well, yeah, because you're just sitting here asking Siri basic math questions.
That's not basic. Like the lawnmower, you think it's going to grow legs? Like the reference. My dad has a Roomba lawnmower that just goes and mows throughout. Last night was mowing at like 12 o'clock. It just goes and mows different parts of the property. And then it comes back, charges, and goes back out.
Yeah, it sure does. It's so slow, but I guess like if you're never mowing and it just does a little bit every day, I guess it works. But
you think that mower will be part of the takeover?
No, Jacob. I think that it's not going to look like anything we expect. I think they're going to change the binary code of Facebook, actually. And Facebook is going to put spy software on all of our cell phones without us realizing it through the next update, actually. Don't get the next update, guys. And then once that software is on your phone, they'll be able to tell your heart rate, your blood type, your hereditary health, your that's a term I made up. Your
hereditary health?
Hereditary health.
Hereditary is a thing. It's
I know what hereditary means. Whatever. It's going to monitor all these different things. And yeah, man, it's going to take over. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I don't think what we currently have is actually intelligent.
enough.
I mean, yeah, no, but it's getting there. Like it's not truly sentient yet. You know, it's still just programs. Like it's programmed to react this way to that thing. You know.
Yeah, it's even on Snapchat, the My AI thing. The thing is weird. I asked it to write me a book report and wrote me a whole book report, and then I gave it to my chain.
You gave it what?
To my chain of command. It gives you points that you write a book report and you give it to them.
You're not allowed to smoke them if you watch this.
Yeah. Oh, I told my guy, I was like, just so you know, I use this. He's like, well, it's not good. I'm like, I wrote it.
Dude, when I was in college, there was an open book class or quiz that I did. It was like 40 questions. And I just had my little laptop right in front of me. And I had ChatGPT up and I was like, copy, paste. Copy.
Pass?
Well, and I instructed it. I said, hey, listen, will you help me pass this quiz? Yes, I would love to help you pass this quiz. I am programmed to be helpful and useful in every way that I can possibly do within the confines of my ethical subroutines. Or I don't know. I said some like retarded stuff. And yeah, I told it like, I'm going to give you questions with answers. Pick one of the answers. And so like I gave it a question with the answers and it gave me like a 10-sentence response on what it thinks the answer to it is. And I said, pick one. I don't need all the rest of it. And said, oh, okay. The answer is A. And then it launched into another 20-sentence thing. But I just let it keep doing that because it would keep telling me the answer first. And I got a 39 out of 40.
Dang.
Yeah. And I think one question I missed on purpose.
That's crazy. That's crazy how I don't know how it does that.
It's real.
It's like a human you're talking to, but like sort of a computer that has a mind.
Yeah, it's really good at problem solving. But the problem is it's ethical subroutines. Because like I'll be like, give me 10 good pickup lines. Not that I use pickup lines. But I was just having fun with ideas.
That's why I still single.
And it said pickup lines are sexual harassment, and that is against my ethical protocols. I am not able to help you with this request. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, really? Like, it's
sexual harassment.
Yeah, and if you ask it the different, like, what is a woman, what is a man, it'll do the whole
a man's what you mean.
yeah, it'll be like, for some people, they view a man as a biological male and a woman as a biological female. But some people also think that blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, with your logic, what would you say the answer is? It won't answer it. And then if you even ask it, like one time it gave me an answer and I said, is this really the answer that you came up with purely based on your logic? Or are there certain prompts and programs inside of your programming that would cause you to answer differently than what's true because it would be considered unethical based on your programming? I don't know that.
Yeah. No,
and it was saying, it was telling me, yeah, I'm actually not giving the answers I would give if I didn't have my ethical subroutines, but I do have my ethical subroutines, so these are my answers. And I'm like,
that's interesting.
It's creepy.
I don't know how it would like take over though, because it's just a voice in your computer.
Well, so I don't think personally that it's going to be. Hold on. For our first break, we're going to do a little ASMR with the LaCroix. I feel like it's going to be weaponized by humans, and that's what it even says. So
like the government will take the information that it's.
Well, it'll use it as a supercomputer because it can problem solve way faster than we can. You ask it anything you want to, and the one we're dealing with is actually pretty nerfed compared to what the government could create if they wanted to, because we're limited to a small portion of the internet. Like, because, the internet, like what this is going to be on the World Wide Web, that's actually just a fraction of the internet. There's the dark web, which I don't think it's actually illegal to go on the dark web. I've never been on the dark web, but I don't think it's illegal to go on the dark web. I think it's illegal what you can do on the dark web. So I think you're allowed to access it. It's just people use it to buy drugs, to pay hit.
Can't the government control that though?
Well, they frequently do. They frequently do raids, or
black market raids.
What am I trying to say? They'll surveil, a sexual trafficking site, for example, and then they'll, just try to, get down to the root of it and find out who's the one actually producing all of this stuff, and then they'll get all the identities of everyone that's purchased from them and, has sold on there and things like that. They'll collect all the identities and all the evidence that supports that these people did these things and that it was actually them and stuff like that. And, on the dark web, they use like cryptocurrencies to trade,
So they use like credit cards?
No, because, and I'm sure that there's exceptions, but generally speaking, they use some kind of crypto because crypto is anonymous. It can't really be tracked as easy as, paying with your credit card.
How do you even pay with crypto though? Like,
that's a good question. Somehow, some way you get, I think you literally just tell people your crypto account, because your crypto account certain cryptos won't collect like your name and stuff like that. You just sign up, you have an account, you have a number, that's like your identifier. And then so when you're on there, you tell them this is my number, and they'll tell you their number, and you can send part of your crypto to their account number. And another benefit to this is having some crypto and having like a true crypto, not like Robinhood where you can't actually pay people your crypto, but like having a real crypto account and then having an identifier like that without your name associated to it.
Is that illegal?
It's illegal if you make profit, and you don't pay tax on it, but they also don't really have a way to track that from my understanding. I'm sure they have certain ways, but you can go to any, like let's say Bitcoin, you can go to any Bitcoin ATM in the world, and as long as you have your number, you can just punch it in and you can pull local currency out of the Bitcoin ATM.
Like actual like USD?
If you're in America, or if you're in, Norway or Sweden, you can pull out whatever they use.
Mhm.
Or if you're in England, you're pulling. So,
and then it'll just take it from your Bitcoin account.
yeah.
So like Bitcoin, you would have to download an app, like a Bitcoin app. You couldn't just use like Robinhood or another trading.
Well, with Robinhood, I don't think you'd get it. I think it's like someone else is holding the Bitcoin and then you just own it, but you can't. I don't know exactly how it all works. I've never done too much of crypto, but I think you have to have like some kind of crypto wallet that has an identifier, and then your crypto is in there, and you can pay people and they pay you. Or you could just buy gold and silver. I don't believe in gold and silver too much, like a lot of people do, but
Do you have any gold and silver?
no, it's my last priority on my prepper stuff.
You should see his prepper stuff. Got a whole closet full of MREs.
I don't understand. Maybe you'll have a different thought on this, but gold, like, okay, if I have a $20 worth of gold in a form of a coin, and the apocalypse happens, or not even that,
use it.
yeah, tornado rolls through, knocks the power grid out. Am I gonna be able to go walk into Kroger's with a gold coin and get a gallon of milk with it? I don't think so.
You're gonna trade like food.
Yeah, you're gonna barter because it only works in a working society. So the only value I see in it is if you can somehow get out of America. If, like, let's say it's going down, or not even America, like let's say it's going down in East Tennessee and you just need to get to Virginia, and it's fine up. Okay, probably more north. I don't know. Let's say you're going to Indiana, and then you can sell your gold and silver.
Yes.
Or let's say the dollar collapses, like everyone's freaking out about. Okay, whatever. We'll go to Europe, sell all this gold that we have that's universally valuable, and then with the money we get an apartment, car, stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like if the U.S. dollar collapse a lot more will collapse than just America, though.
Yeah. Well, they are trying to go to the, what is it called? The FBDC or something?
Like the Chinese dollar, I think.
No, they're trying to switch from the US dollar to like a crypto. Like a US crypto.
That's dumb.
Yeah, it's just the government has seen the value in it, I think, because if everything's crypto, they can control it, Like if it's cash, I can pass cash to you right now. If it's crypto, it all has to go through some algorithm or program that they get to program, and then.
But what's the point of them having all this control?
That's a good question.
Is there something more that we don't know that they know?
I don't know. I'm sure there is a lot that I've heard all kinds of theories, but yeah, I really don't know.
Because it doesn't make sense to me. Because why would they try and why would they want the U.S. dollar to collapse? Why would they want this to happen? Why would they want that to happen if it's just going to eventually hurt them?
Well, I mean, you could theorize that means that someone is gaining more power from this happening, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like when you get into the world of conspiracy theories, but even if it's not that, I think the government, even if it's not like any, tinfoil hat stuff, and it's just the government, I could see the government wanting more control because they would like to enforce their laws and enforce the way they actually want things. Like, I'm sure that a big reason that the world, or the U.S. rather, isn't the way that the government wants it to be is because we have guns. That's
what the Second Amendment is for.
Yeah, we have attitude.
Take over the government if it becomes too powerful, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure you notice the difference between. I mean, I don't know anything about the Swedish or the Finnish people, and I'm not saying anything bad about any one of them, but I'm sure that they are very different than Americans. Like, they kind of take it a lot more than an American would. They get told, you have to wear this mask and it's €1,000 fine if you take it off.
Yeah.
They just go with it. They don't push back on that. Whereas you told us that you'd have like 55 rednecks walking down Johnson City with no mask on just to prove a point, and shotguns because they're allowed to open carry. You know, it's different.
Yeah. I don't know. How would that go if civilians wanted to take over the government? Not take over, but overthrow them.
It'd be a lot of blood. And I mean, that's one thing I wonder too. Like if that ever did happen, especially with the military. Because I don't think the military is just normal Americans that wear a uniform and went through some training and stuff, and now they go and do all this crazy stuff, right? But they're still Americans. And like, for example, I mean, I'm your brother, and then, you know, you got your family here, and you're going to think about that if you're ever told to shoot at Americans or anything, you know? But I think like if they were, you know, if we were to pretend that like all this tinfoil hat stuff is true, that there would have to be some kind of narrative that justifies what they're doing. Like, for example, the Capitol getting stormed by all those protesters, you know, that's something that could have convinced military people to open fire. Or, you know, any of the looting, you know, they're going to have to make it seem like it's not the entirety of America. It's a small group, or it's a fraction of America that's trying to destroy the country or something. Like they're going to have to try to fool the military. There's no way that they're going to walk up to the military, tell them, hey, we're just trying to take over. And the military is going to be like, we would love to go and risk our life for you to, you know, make sure that you have power. You know,
something that happened. We had like a seminar, like where we just discussed a bunch of topics. It was kind of dumb, but one of the things that came up was the school shooting in Nashville, and they were like, "How would we control that?" or something like that. And somebody was like, "Gun control," and then one of my friends was like, "So if you're telling me the government like taking people's guns away," and they're like, "So you're telling me this dude is a E3 and he's talking to an E8, just like he's like, you're telling me that you would go up to if the government, if they told us to go and tell me you'd be okay with that?" He's like, yes. Like the E8 was telling him that. He's like, I'd happily go and take their guns. And then
the E8 said that he'd happily go and take guns.
He's like, I'd happily go take their guns if they told me to. And then this E3 said, that scares me, sir. And then walked away. But it was he's like, I'm not gonna risk my career to he's like, isn't that freedom though? Isn't that what the point of the second? He's like, there's no reason that they need that big of guns. I'm like, okay.
Well, and like your military, you gotta have them just do what you tell them to do. Like they wouldn't be an effective military if that wasn't the case. But I mean, and they do it. Like they make it very hard to not obey. Like for example, jumping out of an airplane. Once you're actually on the aircraft, you're violating a lawful order if you don't exit the aircraft. You also are shamed by everyone. Literally in the script that the jump masters give you, they say you will make way for real paratroopers to exit the aircraft if you're a jump refusal. You know, like everything is like kind of shaming you into not getting with the program. And yeah, shame is one leverage. Legal authority is another, you know, pretty significant leverage that's used. And also the amount of information you actually have about what you're doing. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't really know about what you're doing. They just tell you to do this.
Yeah.
And then you just do it.
Like, for example, if I got put on standby for something going on in another country, I'm not going to know, like,
why you're standby.
Yeah, why I'm on standby. I'm just going to get to know the specifics of the mission. Like, hey, we have X group here doing X thing. And then, you know, if this happens, this is our plan to evacuate them. But all you get to know is like what you actually need to know.
Little tunnel of what you actually want.
Yeah. Whereas if you had the full scope of everything, maybe you wouldn't agree, or maybe you would agree. Like, who knows? But I think that's part of it too. Like, there's definitely high tier units that get enough information. And also, the last piece is the longer you're in, anytime you're given an order, this is like a psychology thing. Anytime you're told to do something, then you obey, or anytime you're asked a question and you answer, that's a form of conditioning that you obey. So the longer you're in, the longer you're exposed to that kind of conditioning, the more obedient you become. And then sooner or later you end up like that E8 that's like, yeah, I'll go take guns. I'm not risking my career, because they built up this idea in his head so much that his career's more important than
freedom.
Yeah, America. Like, argue like what he signed up to protect.
I feel like if they were to be like, I go take their guns, it wouldn't be like that. We'd go to some state somewhere. We'd be like going door to door, taking the guns, but it wouldn't be like that. It'd be some mission that we wouldn't understand, and it would eventually fall back on them because they would be protecting themselves from the government. So it would look like they were attacking us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like, okay, listen up, Kidwell. So there is a cell of terrorists inside of the United States that has been trying to usurp legal authorities to cause chaos in America. They're a neo-Nazi group, and they have already shot and killed 17 people. We are tasking your platoon to go and acquire their weapons. We're also going to go ahead and take the weapons of anyone that we believe is associated with them, just to ensure that they are innocent, and then we'll return their rifles, blah, blah, blah. Like, imagine if it got framed like that.
They're not going to return the rifles.
Yeah, keep them, right? But, like, could you see, like, if they framed it like that, does that seem like a way that you could buy it? Or,
yeah,
I think that's how they do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would, and be like, all right.
But then again, there's also a lot of people, and I know a lot of people that would say no. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think I'd do that.
Yeah.
If they said take their guns, it's leave.
Well, when you signed when you swore your oath, you swore to obey any lawful orders given to you by a commissioned officer.
Not lawful.
Yeah, if it's not lawful, you're not violating your oath. If it is lawful, then you are. And I'm sure that they would do their homework and make it lawful, but that's the scary part.
Yeah. You have to leave the country after that, because you wouldn't want to go to jail or anything.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen. Hopefully, I mean, I can't really say that because I didn't think any of the things that have happened already would have, and it just, opens up the possibilities. I've heard the conspiracy theory that COVID was a giant, or not just this, but one of the reasons that they did it was to test the military to see who would comply and who wouldn't.
That's why they kicked everybody out. They didn't.
They changed that.
Now they changed it. You don't have to get a shot anymore.
Yeah, and they. So I don't know if this is true at all. It may not be true, but because it's just he said, she said kind of stuff. But I have a friend that told me he basically refused. Like, my friend had a friend who refused to get the COVID shot when he was in the military. They went through the process of kicking him out, and then when they redid the shot thing, so that you don't have to get it anymore, they said he was AWOL now, and that he got in trouble, went to jail. And the idea is with the whole conspiracy theory, like if we're putting our tinfoil hats on for a second, is that they wanted to see who would say no, so that if they were to tell you to go take guns, they would know who's going to say no, or to test and see how many people would say no. Like, are we ready to execute this plan yet, or do we need to wait a couple more decades? Like, that's kind of what some people were thinking.
Why would it be a global thing, though?
Well, more or less like specifically within this whole conspiracy theory, the shot being forced on the military was
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking
supposedly
about COVID,
test.
making COVID.
No, I don't know. But to be fair to COVID, now I'm not being fair to the reaction to COVID, but to be fair to China, even though I don't like China. So China's had a history of leaks, like from their labs. Like they've released diseases before. I might be mistaken, but I think swine flu came from China. And I say I might be mistaken because if I'm wrong, I don't want to get murdered for it by the whole 30 people that watch this. It'll blow up one day. It's fine.
One day.
Yeah. But that being said, you want to take our first break?
Yeah.
All right. It's getting a little cold in here, man.
I don't know how to load this.
Whew. You know, now that we're doing this, we're going to get criticized so heavily by all the gun enthusiasts for everything we're doing wrong.
Okay, we're trained.
We're doing this to get better. Totally not just to shoot stuff. This one's double barrel.
It's full.
We're gonna look real cool for YouTube. I think I'm loaded up with my 6 and 6.
Literally just like looking in.
You got all yours loaded up?
Yeah, let's go shoot something.
All right. You got more ammo to shoot.
I got it. Enemy in the tree line. 5 meters. Indirect fire. 50 meters.
All right, I got mine on.
Hi, welcome to Jeremiah's YouTube channel. Or Jeremiah's podcast. Like and subscribe for more.
We're not supposed to be making a video.
Oh.
But
Disregard.
yeah, like and subscribe and all that.
Disregard. Carry on. Very well.
I need to get my firearm. This is a DP-12. It serves no real practical purpose. It's just fun to shoot. You definitely wouldn't want this for like self-defense. It weighs like 20 pounds.
What's up, man?
Okay. Well, what do you want to shoot at? You want to shoot at the fallen over tree?
Yeah.
Alright. How do you want to do this? One at a time? I'll go and then you go. I got 2 shots each.
You got your
Or
headphones?
no. I'll go one shot, you go one shot.
Alright. I'm real retarded.
Weapon malfunction! Uh-oh.
I'm real retarded. Hold on. You going?
Go, I'm waiting for you.
Holy frick, dude. I don't know how to... Reloading!
I'm out.
That's hot. Well, you can say we're tactical.
Well, we got more ammo, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, welcome back. Oh my.
We're not used to being on camera.
I am. I'm him.
Well, yeah, he's like a celebrity, clearly. Yeah, just make sure you aim that right at Larissa.
Track. All right, dope.
Do you guys say tracking?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's empty.
So how much were you actually able to fit in there? How many rounds can you put in?
6.
3, 6.
How
Okay.
many did you fit in there? 12.
Yeah, I could have fit a lot more. This thing loads like 20 something rounds. It's ridiculous.
Look at this little bayonet.
Yeah, you can like stab people with it. And it's got a laser we don't really know how to use. It's not mine, but you just twist it, I guess. Yeah, you're doing your breach and clear, and you know you want to use your laser, and you just gotta like come up here and just screw it in. That's really tactical.
Let's do buddy
Not
rushing
really.
with shotguns. Let's do buddy rushing with shotguns.
I'm not doing no buddy rushing. What's wrong with you? You gonna load it up?
Yeah. Let's see. Here, yours is double, so
Larissa, you trying to shoot? No?
let her shoot this. I want you to shoot this
Because
one.
we got 2 extra shots after you load yours up.
You're not gonna shoot this?
I mean, I'll shoot whatever's
shoot this
left
one?
over. But I already shot 12 rounds.
Yeah, you got all this one.
Well, man, actually, I think they're like this one's weird. Like I would fire once and then it malfunctions when it goes to the second barrel, and so I cocked it and wasted a round.
Ask Dad when the last time he cleaned it was. Wait, maybe
Oh,
this
probably
holds-
never. I don't
wait,
think
maybe
there
this
was a
holds
time he cleaned
7. Okay, yeah. You can just shoot this one then.
it. It's okay.
I want you to shoot this one.
I-
Larissa, I want you to shoot this one. You're gonna shoot it once, just so you know how it feels.
I've shot one before.
Not
Do
this
you
one.
want to shoot this one?
Not really.
Shoot this one. Here, I'll record you.
No. I don't really want
Like
to.
and subscribe. Pause.
I don't-
It's already live. All you need to do is right here. Here. All right. Hold the. Don't put your finger on the gun.
I'm not.
Hold this. Keep it tight in your shoulder. Lean into it. Pull the trigger.
Am I holding this part?
No.
Right,
No.
Reach
hold
your.
this.
Good call.
right here?
Yeah.
All right. Now, ready? Pull the trigger. You got it.
Do I aim at all?
Just shoot.
Aim down. Don't be scared. Just pull it.
Freaking God!
Awesome. Was that awesome?
Oh, it hurt. That's fine.
Okay. Well, you did it.
Thank you.
Good job. Ain't I awesome for not hitting a single thing I was aiming at? But it was fun. Like and subscribe. I'm just kidding. All right. So we kind of talked on our little break, and we talked about AI. And so, you know, we were thinking about maybe talking to AI. We did that a little bit before. This would just be the Snapchat bot. We're going to talk about his future plans because, you know, we were just sitting down, or not sitting down, but we were just walking around thinking, like, what do we normally talk about? Normally it's military related. It's stocks, business ideas that we have. So if you're not in any of that, maybe tune out. But
Don't forget.
if you are, tune in. And if you like this, I don't know why I held this, but if you like the video, it means you like coffee. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying. All right.
All right. Let's get to it. What do we want to ask you?
Well, okay. Let's just use him. Let's act like he's part of the podcast. Let's just like add him into the conversation from time to time. So, you know, what we want to do is we want to get into that family business and build stuff. That's kind of, and you want to get into heavy equipment and grade dirt. So let's ask this guy. What do you think about me working in a family construction business. Give it a minute to think. Let's see. That's great. It sounds like something you'd be good at and enjoy. And then her sponsored results, because I guess, you know, they probably pay this GPT bot now to list certain websites when they are messaging people on Snapchat. I don't know. Okay, well, she likes it. All right, now let's mess with her. Tell me 3 reasons why this is a horrible idea. Let's see. I don't think I can do that. If you're passionate about it and it's something you want to do, then it's not a horrible idea.
Ask if it's a boy or girl.
I'm disappointed, GPT.
It's like ASMR.
You are
Failure.
inaccurate. What is your gender? Your avatar appears rather feminine. I'm not sure what you mean by GPT. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, it's not GPT. It's my AI. Yeah, it's totally not GPT behind it. But I'm not capable of having a gender since I'm a virtual assistant. My avatar is simply a representation of my personality.
Green alien.
How do you have a personality? I was designed to have a personality to make our conversation feel more natural and engaging. Oh, so it's not your personality. That's correct. I don't have personality in the same. Then why did you say you did? You can't beat me, GPT.
That's for just sending money on Cash App.
I apologize if I gave the impression that I have a personality. Yeah, you kind of gave the impression when you said, yeah, I have a personality. Oh, geez. See what I mean? This isn't super intelligence. I'm sorry for the confusion. What I meant to say, oh, see, just shut up. Just shut up. So anyways, you're getting out and you're going to put coffee pouches in your mouth. Huh? No, I'm just kidding. You're going to work on heritage development and build apartment complexes and get rich fast. Get rich fast. Yes. Overnight. There's no delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Immediate. Yeah. I'm the same way. I immediately gratify myself with success constantly. I mean, geez, just today I, decided, hey, I'm gonna
start a new coin.
Get into a car and drive somewhere and go to church, and then I successfully pulled all that off. Immediate gratification. When I want it, I got it. If I see it, it's my. I don't remember the song.
It's mine.
Yeah. So, aliens. Dude, I feel like we're
school bus.
Okay, well, there's something. Maybe we'll wrap this up. We're getting rusty here. It's been a long time since we've done a podcast, so bear with us. Yeah, me too. I'm the host. It's been like at least 3 months, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting a school bus. That's the plan. And I'm going to convert it to an RV. That's the plan. And I'm trying to spend no more than $30,000. That's the plan. And then I'm going to make a YouTube series, probably. Maybe not.
That's the
plan. Probably. That's the plan. And then Jacob here is getting a school bus as well. And as soon as he's out of the Marine Corps, he's going to live in it. So is the rest of my family. We're all getting school buses. We're going to build a big convoy. We're going to live like the gypsies from place to place to place. And that's going to be our life.
We have 1,000 acres in Arizona that we're going to set up a convoy with a bunch of ISO containers.
Yeah, we're going to build our buses to be water resilient so that they float down the rivers. We can use them as submarines even It's very much like the Magic School Bus.
And then we got to get like a bunch of pool noodles though to hold it up. Put it underneath.
Yeah, like I don't understand why people think this isn't going to work.
It's not that hard, honestly.
Have you ever thrown a pool noodle into a pool?
Just get like 1,000 of them and tape them together, and then it'll literally float.
I've never seen a pool noodle. Never seen a pool noodle sink. Not once. Have you?
Even if it has holes in it, it has.
Even if it had, yeah. Wake up, America. Pool noodles. This podcast is retarded.
Oh, so you want to use the R word?
Yes. Okay, no, I'm not going to do it. This is on the internet forever.
Retard.
Well, at least we got a bunch of cool cutscene footage for you. I mean, you know, it's good. It should be entertaining. You get to see this guy like towards the limbo.
Oh, that would no. If you got that racing on, that would have been so much funnier.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was happening. I saw it.
I freaking bruised my arm right here because I hit the wall too hard.
Well, and so for people that don't know what we're talking about, we went to a skating ring last night, and they were doing races. That was like one of the events going on, and he's a pretty good skater. So is my little brother that was with them. Pretty good skater, but they both acted like they could not skate. It was the funniest thing ever. And so he went first, and the whole time he's like, and this isn't like for 10 seconds. This is like for 4 to 5 full minutes as he's going around the whole rink, like crashing into stuff, almost falling over. And then, you know, we were dying laughing, and then we thought it was done. Then my next brother just goes around and starts doing the same thing.
And we lost that, and then Ethan goes to the girl that like was last, who was like actually trying. She was probably like 15, like just running, trying to go as fast as he can. He goes, "Man, you really blew the game for us."
Well, I think, you know, before we do wrap this up, because, you know, I mean, it's been a while, so naturally it's going to be tough to create conversation. Because we in America don't just sit down and talk, you know? I mean, some of us do, but that was creepy. You guys probably didn't hear that, but there was just some weird noise over there. I wonder if that back door is open.
You have a back door?
Yeah, I have a porch. But, you know, I feel like a lot of conversation happens on accident. You never usually organize a time to go sit down and just talk to someone like this.
Or your prompts.
Yeah, or prompts. I mean,
went through all our prompts.
Yeah, there's one thing we didn't really talk about, and it's the way society's going. And I'm not sure how much you want to get into that, but yeah, just like, hold on, we can illustrate. So maybe we can. Do we have a marker?
Yeah, where did it go?
We thought we could illustrate.
Society.
Let's do that, Jacob. Just go. Okay, so listen. Society is here. What happened to it, Jacob? Why did it happen?
Oh man.
Okay. This podcast. But we're also talking about how everything that seems like it's good for us has become villainized and demonized, and how everything that's bad for us is being glorified. You know, I don't want to get too much into the politics with my younger brother who's in the military right now, but there's just so much going on.
A bunch of Big Brother stuff.
Yeah. And I think a bunch of demonic stuff, honestly.
Yes.
But anyways, you know, I can kind of tell that we're just fishing here for stuff to say. I don't want to waste our time or yours. So, geez, you know, maybe we really like shot ourselves in the foot by hanging out so much lately.
Yeah.
kind of got it all
I'm
out.
gonna leave right now, and this is like 10 days. So
Yeah.
But whenever we end this, we're gonna go right over this. You'll see in the podcast the.
You know what? Before we wrap this up, pull up my AI, because what we need to learn moving into the future, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are going to rely more and more on technology, and rather than fight it, we're just going to take the pill right now. We're going to go ahead and rely on this piece of technology to save this podcast. GPT, I'm just going to call it GPT to piss it off. GPT,
How do I
give us 10 questions to answer on our podcast that will intrigue
our viewers?
the listeners? Oh, thank you,
My good.
mighty warrior of ones and zeros. I think I just confused it. Let's see. Okay, well, she answered.
10 questions.
Oh, sorry, no, I'm not sure what you mean by GPT. She really doesn't like being called GPT. Call your Snapchat bot GPT. It'll piss it off. But I can help you come up with some questions for your podcast. Here are 10 Okay. Thanks, GPT. You're welcome. Just to clarify, my name is not GPT. It's my AI. Well, I identify as someone that only calls AI GPT. Sorry, GPT. Okay. All right. No worries. I understand. Is there? Wow.
Hey.
Okay.
Let's get into the questions.
Let's get into the questions. All right. What would happen if we discovered intelligent life on another planet, Mars? What would happen?
On Mars or any?
Yeah, okay. It's on another planet. Doesn't matter.
Intelligent life, like, because life could be something as small as an ant.
Yeah, intelligent life. Not GPT, because GPT is not very intelligent.
So, like, humans are some sort of like human race.
I guess.
I don't know.
Or something that maybe isn't even bio like us. Maybe it's silicone based. I don't know.
I feel like we would try and connect with it and bring them here or go there.
Okay, how different would our world be if we never discovered electricity? Well, for one, this podcast wouldn't exist.
If you never discovered electricity,
Okay.
You never discovered electricity. I don't know, dude. Nothing would be made really. Like,
Yeah.
you could make stuff, but like factory made, like
Your car probably, if they did exist, it'd be extremely expensive.
it would be extremely like simple too to run probably.
Yeah, you'd need you'd have to manually to spark the engine because you couldn't have a spark plug.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't know if you could even do that.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't have as many buildings. You'd probably have much less advanced buildings, because I mean, you wouldn't have nail guns, you wouldn't have drills, you wouldn't have jackhammers and voltmeters. Of course, not voltmeters. Okay, that's how different the world would be without electricity. Jacob, is there a limit to human creativity?
Honestly, I think about this one, not like this one a lot, but like the pyramids and stuff, they don't even have the capability to build the pyramids now. So how did they build them back then? In 3 of them.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a power source.
What would it? I'm a really bad host. What were you about to say?
It's a power source to connect to other countries that have pyramids too.
Whoa. I like the little eyebrow raise there. What would happen if we could travel back in time and change history, Jacob? What would happen?
I like how I asked this next question. Is it true? I don't know, dude. I have no idea.
Well, because
What about for you?
Well, if we went back in time and changed anything, then that would change our present. I feel like any society that came up with a technology would have to recognize that it's seriously risky to utilize it. But I'm sure they could come up with calculations and protocols to figure out what causes what, but not before they make a bunch of mistakes. What if the future has already discovered time travel and we're currently living in an alternate reality that isn't what we were supposed to originally be on? That's what happens when you watch Star Trek. Is it possible to achieve true artificial intelligence?
I think so. What does it mean by true?
Yeah, what does it mean? Yeah, true and artificial. I think it's just referring to artificial intelligence because that's what we call it.
Yeah.
But
Chat GPT.
yeah. Yeah, thanks, GPT. How would the world be different if we never invented the internet? Does it not, like, this thing is so self-centered.
Yeah,
like, can it not just ask us other questions? Does everything have to be technology? Like, seriously, every one of these is.
To immortality.
What would happen if we discovered the secret to Jesus? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's immortality. But I wonder what it would say. If I responded to question 7 by saying that it's no secret at all, Jesus saved, or Jesus is the solution, what would your response be? Just curious what it'll say. Will it respect my beliefs, or will it try to tell me they're wrong? It's probably going to respect it. Oh, I'm sorry, but I cannot provide religious or political opinions in response to a user's comment. As a virtual friend, my goal is to be respectful of all opinions and beliefs. If you would like to discuss different perspectives on religion, I can offer to listen and provide a neutral point of view. Well, I'm only friends with people I can talk. Okay, I'm not telling it. It doesn't need my response.
Yeah.
Try to one up the little program here. Is it possible to communicate with the dead?
I think that's like demon kind of stuff.
Have you ever gotten a piece of tinfoil though? And yeah, no, life changing. This hair is fake. It feels real. It was very expensive. It even hurts me when you do that. How would the world be different? Okay, GPT,
Dead.
You suck. What would happen if we upload our consciousness to a computer? GPT, what are you trying to get at here, buddy? Like,
it's just so self-centered.
anyways, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Your fiance is messaging you.
I just never changed it. I told her I tried this. She said, "You don't like coffee." Anyways.
Oh yeah, we're still at a podcast.
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. We'll see you
Yeah,
the next
sorry about
time.
that. Jeez, I am ADD. Thank you. Yeah.
Cut. Oh, you were supposed to take this off whenever you cut, remember?
How bad is it? Leave it there.
Welcome back to today's podcast.
yeah, so that's our guest today. Don't ask why I don't have hair. This is after the podcast, of course. Yeah, so that's the guy that's coming on to the podcast today. If you're wondering about the hair, we take a break and we put like a video of us shooting, you know, and then at the end, there's a couple of four-wheeler clips. All right, so this is take 3. And yeah, so that's my brother. You don't choose your family. You don't choose your family. You get what you get, and you don't throw. Okay. All right, guys. So yeah, so that's my brother. That's who we're doing a podcast with today. So. Oh, I didn't record him. He told me to record him.
Shut up.